What up, YouTube? Team Movies here. Premiering on Netflix now is a new Eddie Murphy film titled Dolomite Is My Name, which is really great, by the way. And it's pretty much about the making of the blaxploitation film Dolomite. And it is a movie about making movies, and I really quite get a kick out of those. You know, I'm always a sucker to watch movies about the film industry, and there's some pretty good films about making movies. With that being said, here's my top 10 favorite movies about making movies. Alright. Coming in at number 10, it is Bowfinger. Now, it stars Steve Martin as this character named Bobby Bowfinger, who's like this shameless wannabe film producer who's trying to, desperate to break into Hollywood big time, in spite the fact that he's also broke and unconnected. And so, like, his plans are thwarted when he is also unable to land Hollywood's action star Kid Ramsey, played by Eddie Murphy, for the lead role of the movie. So Bowfinger ends up deciding to pretty much decides to make the film with Ramsey anyway, except like that Kid won't really know that he's in it. So he kind of ends up trying to trick the guy, which is kind of messed up if you want to think about it. I mean, could you imagine actual Hollywood producers do that in real life? I mean, yeah. But I mean, it's a pretty funny film, though. I mean, it's directed by Yoda himself, Frank Oz. I know, he did a great job with this film. You know, you also had a few other folks in this, like you had Heather Graham, Robert Downey Jr., Christine Baranski. You had Terrence Stamp. You also had Jamie Kennedy. I mean, it's a really good cast members in this. And I really got a kick out of Bowfinger. It's really hilarious, funny. You know, Eddie Murphy and Steve Martin. I mean, of course, they are both SNL heavy players, and you know they were both really great together in this. I mean, if you guys ever seen Bowfinger by now, give it a go. It's a really funny one. All right, coming in at number 9, it is Shadow of the Vampire. Now, Shadow of the Vampire is a film about the making of the 1922 vampire film Nosferatu, and it stars John Malkovich as the film's director F.W. Murnau, who's like struggling to create his silent classic Nosferatu on location in Eastern Europe, and he also decides to get like this actor named Max Schreck, who's a very method actor, and he also pretty much will only play the character at night, so he's very invested in his role. And you got also a few other people, like you got Catherine McCormick, Udo Kier, Carrie Ellis. You also had Eddie Izzard was in this. I mean, Shadow of the Vampire was pretty decent. You know, it's pretty much not really that much of a vampire-based movie, but you know, its star was like so vested in the role, he'll literally act like he was an actual vampire, and it's a pretty good one. William Dafoe was terrific. John Malkovich was great. I mean, if you guys ever see Shadow of the Vampire, give it a go. I think you'll get a kick out of it. Alright, coming in at number 8, it is Kevin Smith's comedy, Zack and Mary Make a Porno. Now, this is a film about, you know, making adult films, so they are movies, like, whether you like it or not. But, now this is, you know, stars Seth Rogen and Elizabeth Banks, who plays these roommates who can't really afford to pay their bills and all. So they decide to have a idea of making, get this, they decide to make a porno in order to pretty much pay their bills. I mean, hey, you gotta pay your bills some way, right? And they also get some interesting people for their stuff. Like you got they ended up getting Jason Mewes in their film. Uh, it's a film about making porno, so obviously you're gonna get actual porn stars in this, and that's who they ended up getting. They got Katie Morgan and Tracy Lords was both in this. I also had You also had Craig Robinson was great. You also had a lot of Kevin Smith's heavy players was also featured in this. Not to mention Justin Long was great. Brandon Ralph was amazing. I mean, Zack and Mary is such a funny film. It's hilarious. It has loads. It's very raunchy. I mean, it is a film about It is also part of romantic comedy too. So I guess you can call it romantic comedy as well. And I really got a kick out of this. I mean, I still own the film on DVD, and I watch it once whenever I get a chance to. It's really hilarious. It's like I said, it's very raunchy, and it's really good. Like if you guys ever seen Zack and Mary Make a Porno yet, give it a go. It's a really great one. All right. Coming in at number 7, it is Saving Mr. Banks. Now, Saving Mr. Banks, is a film about the making of Mary Poppins, and it's also where like they're trying to obtain the movie rights to the book Poppins, but P.L. Travers does not really has no intentions of letting her beloved character Megan into Hollywood into the Hollywood machine. And you also got Tom Hanks as Walt Disney, who I thought Tom Hanks as Walt Disney was terrific. And this movie I thought was really charming. And I like the look of Disney World they had in this. That looked pretty cool. They also hired like you have a few people play like the music choreographies in this. Yeah, yeah. Save Mr. Banks was some film. I mean, it was a film about where like the author does not want her movie to be made, but she ends up having a conscience throughout the whole film, and of course history ends up being made. Yeah, Save Mr. Banks is a really terrific film. I mean, a great performances by Emma Thompson as P.L. Travers. I thought she was terrific. How did she not get an Oscar nomination for that role is beyond me, but it's probably my favorite Emma Thompson film, not to mention. I mean, it's a really great one. If you guys ever seen Save Mr. Banks by now, give it a go. You'll enjoy it. Alright. Alright, speaking about making a porno, my number 6 favorite is going to be Boogie Nights. Now, like Zack and Mary, this is also a movie about the porn industry, and you got Mark Wahlberg who plays like this teenage busboy named Eddie Adams who ends up getting discovered by this porn director named Jack Horner, who ends up transforming him into like an adult film sensation named Dirk Diggler, and you got like few interesting circle friends here, including like fellow actors like Amber Reyes, played by Julianne Moore, Roller Girl, played by the aforementioned Haley Graham. You also had John C. Reilly as Reed Rothschild. I mean, Boogie Nights is terrific. Directed by Paul Thomas Anderson, who I thought did a great job with this movie. Great performances by Mark Wahlberg. I mean, it's a film about making porno, so yeah. I mean, hey or not, pornos are movies, so I mean, yeah. But yeah, Boogie Nights is probably my favorite part of PTA film as well. I mean, it's terrific, and it was also, I guess you could say this was like the movie that really shined Mark Wahlberg's career in a way, and Burt Reynolds as a adult film producer, adult film director. I mean, you can really buy him as a role too. But yeah, Boogie Nights is such a terrific one. All right, coming in at number 5, it is Hitchcock. Now, this is a movie about making the iconic horror film Psycho, and you've got Anthony Hopkins as the role of Alfred Hitchcock. You also got Scarlett Johansson as Janet Leigh. You also had Jessica Biel was in this. You also had you had Helen Mirren who played Alfred Hitchcock's wife. You even had Ralph Macchio was in this. I mean, Hitchcock is a terrific movie, and that was always like before this. I was always curious about the making of Psycho, and they really did disappoint. I mean, they really went in more depth of how Psycho was made and how Psycho was transformed into like one of the pretty much one of Hitchcock's like best film and all. I mean, yeah, if you guys never really seen Hitchcock by now, definitely give that one a go. I thought I heard gunshots. Anyway, but yeah, if you guys never seen Hitchcock, it's very underrated too. But definitely go check out Hitchcock if you guys never seen it. All right, coming in at number 4, it is Ed Wood. Now, this is of course a film about Edward June about Ed Wood, who's like pretty much who's of course a director who made some of the not so great movies of the past couple of years, back in the days. Like he directed stuff like Plan 9 from Outer Space, Glenda, and this is like a very dark comedic tale about him making those films and all. You even got Martin Landau as Bela Lugosi, who I thought Martin Landau as Bela Lugosi was terrific casting there. You also had people like they even had Vincent D'Onofrio as Orson Welles. I thought that was great casting. You also had Jeffrey Jones, Sarah Jessica Parker, Bill Murray, Patricia Arquette, directed by Tim Burton. Of course, it is also a black and white film, so there's that too. I mean, Ed Wood is really terrific. Great, great performances by Johnny Depp, by lots of the other cast. I mean, Johnny Depp as the role of Ed Wood was great casting there, and yeah, it really shows in depth of directors like struggle to make some very terrible movies. And yeah, if you guys haven't really seen Tim Burton's Ed Wood movie yet, give it a go. It's another good film worth checking out. All right, coming in at number 3, it is Tropic Thunder. This movie is one of the funniest comedies I've seen in last couple years. I mean, it's where like these this film director and these these actors decide to travel into into the middle of a real jungle, and they think they're making a film, but it turns out there's like a group of they're kind of a group of terrorists named Flaming Dragons who are kidnapping them and trying to torture them and all. And you got you also got Ben Still as and not to mention they're all faced into a real life war zone. And you got Ben Still, who plays an interesting actor here, and he of course plays a character named Simple Jack. I mean, yeah, he plays some interesting. Ben Still plays some interesting characters in this. You also had Jack Black was great in this. You even had Robert Downey Jr. as Kirk Lazarus, who is a dude. Who's pretty much a dude disguised as another dude. So yeah. You even had Tom Cruise. And actually his comeback performance, by the way, as the role of Les Grossman. Like, this is literally the movie that pretty much gave Tom Cruise a comeback. I mean, before this, Tom Cruise was sort of a joke and all by jumping on Oprah's couch and all. And so when this movie got made, Tom Cruise really brought it lightly, and it really made Tom Cruise. It made lots of people become a fan of Tom Cruise again, and I mean, Tom Cruise as Les Grossman, I'm not gonna lie. There's literally times in this movie where I literally kept forgetting that was Tom Cruise. I mean, he had like a he had like a belly there. He had a bald head. He's a diet soda drinking guy, and he like the stuff where he ends up talking to the flaming dragons is hilarious. I mean, what not to love about Tropic Thunder? It's such a great film. I mean, Ben Stiller also directed it. I mean, not to mention Tropic Thunder, I'm not going to lie, was actually the first R-rated movie I ever actually got to see in theaters. So, yeah, that was pretty cool there. But yeah, if you guys never seen Tropic Thunder yet, give it a go. It's one of the funniest movies of 2008. Alright, coming in at number 2, it is Disaster Artist. Now, I guess you could say this is kind of the vein of Ed Wood, and it stars, and the film stars and is directed by James Franco, who of course stars as Tommy Wiseau, who of course gave us The Room, and you also had you had Dave Franco, who played The Room co-star Greg Cesario, and you also had Seth Rogen as like the film director and all. I mean, James Franco as Tommy Wiseau was brilliant casting. James Franco really played that role perfectly, and him like I really thought he shined as a Tommy Wiseau. You also had Seth Rogen was also great in this. Ari Grainer was great. I mean, it really went in depth on the filming of Room, which of course became an infamous, not so good movie. I mean, it's actually one of the best. Like, it's a cult classic now. But yeah, The Room, like the Disaster Artist is, it's a real like the movie. The Disaster Artist is great. I mean, James Franco really directed it. He wrote the film. It's based on a book. I mean, if you guys never seen The Disaster Artist by now, do yourself a favor. Go watch The Disaster Artist. It's terrific. I mean, really great film. Alright. Now, my number one favorite movie about making a movie is a film about making silent films. And that is the classic Singing in the Rain. I mean, you got, of course, you got the transition of, like, you pretty much got, like, where, like, the transition is, like, being made from a silent film to talkies, and everyone has, like, trouble adapting silent films now. And so you got like Don and Luna, who has like been cast repeatedly in as a romantic couple, but when like their latest film is being remade into a musical, Don ends up having like the voice for the new singing part, and he also ends up casting like this young girl played by sorry about that played by Deborah Reynolds, and it has some really classic music stuff in this. Some classic music numbers are featured. This is of course a film about trying to make another silent film for the new generation. Hold on. Anyway, and you got like Gene Kelly. I mean, at the height of his career, was terrific. I mean, that guy could sing, he could dance great here. Debbie Reynolds was terrific. That woman could sing. Like, I thought she had a really great singing voice in this. Gene Kelly was also the director of this, so that was pretty cool. I mean, this is a classic musical right here. I mean, Singing in the Rain is also a classic music song. I mean, yeah, if you guys never seen Singing in the Rain by now, it's a really great one. Alright, that's pretty much it. Let me do the quick rundown. 10, Bowfinger. 9, Shadow of the Vampire. 8, Zack and Mary Make a Porno. 7, Saving Mr. Banks. 6, Boogie Nights. 5, Hitchcock. 4, Ed Wood. 3, Tropic Thunder. 2, The Disaster Artist. And 1, Singing in the Rain. Now, there's loads of other ones I probably could have added. Me and Earl, The Dying Girl's a good one. Hugo, The Player with Tim Robbins, that's a good one. The Dirties, that's another good one. There is also the movie Loveless, which is also a film about making probably one of the most iconic porn films of history, which is Deep Throat. So yeah. There's also Gods and Monsters, Adaptation, Bart to Fink, Anaconda. That's actually a film about making a film. Mulholland Drive, The Aviator, King Kong. There's some really interesting ones around there. The Big Picture. I mean, Ireland Empire. Some pretty good ones here. Let me leave to you guys. What are some of your favorite movies about making movies? Drop a comment below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for more notifications. This here is Team Movies signing off.